Hello and welcome to Strive Defense Dialogue. We are conducting this episode after a long gap due to some reasons, but we'll now try and be regular. Today's topic is the very tragic Pahalgam attack. A set of events took place before this tragedy struck us. आज हम कोशिश करेंगे कि इसके बारे में बात करें कि कहाँ चूक हो गई, कहाँ गड़बड़ हो गई, and what are the options that are available with India. And my guest today is Major General Harsha Kakkar, sir. All of you know him well. Sir, welcome to the channel, sir.
Thank you, Rakesh. Pleasure with you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. तो सर सबसे पहले हम ये बात करेंगे सर कि ये जो इंसिडेंट हुआ है, इससे पहले चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ ऑफ पाकिस्तान, आपने इसके बारे में लिखा भी है एक आर्टिकल, उनकी एक स्पीच होती है और उसके बाद ए सीरीज ऑफ इवेंट्स टेक प्लेस. तो सर इसको वेरी ब्रीफली वुड यू ब्रीफली टेल अस क्या हुआ है और कहाँ हमको एक इंडिकेशन लेनी चाहिए थी जो हम चूक गए. सो व्हाट डू यू
सी? जनरल मुनीर ने जो बोला, he spoke with multiple intentions. One being, the major intention being to build the morale of the overseas Pakistanis who were losing faith in the Pak army. After all, Baluchistan में जो मार खा रहे हैं, खैबर पख्तूनवा जो मार खा रहे हैं, it doesn't display a strong army which is capable of handling its own. Imagine a train getting hijacked, 50-60 dead, हर जगह पे you're hiding facts. And then the people within know the truth. The people outside, Pakistanis, know the truth. Now, if you have to hide the facts, then you have to play a game. And the game that he played was, accusing India, talking about Hinduism, talking about Kashmir. Now, Kashmir and India are two topics which bring the Pakistanis together. Tension with India and the taking of Kashmir bring them together. और ये जो drop हो रहा है, the standing of the Pak army, that comes up because you're able to project a different image, of able to accuse India. Usually anything that happens in Baluchistan or Khyber Pakhtunkhwa or with Afghanistan, India हाथ है. बस 2016 का जो हमने पकड़ा हुआ है या जो भी 2017-18 का पकड़ा हुआ है कुलभूषण जाधव, he is the only proof we have that India's involvement. कुछ है नहीं. But that is something which is the only thing which binds them together is India. And that is the sentiment on which he was playing. Secondly, उस दिन जनरल मलिक ने बोला था in his interview that whenever there is a VVIP visit to India, there are additional precautions taken. Somewhere it was not there. एक कहानी. Now I want to look at it in another way. 24/7 security forces are out on patrols, they're out in operations, they're out dominating. By these actions, उन्होंने हजारों encounters रोक दिया, such incidents रोक दिए. People don't talk about it because that is your role. Here, there are two sides to the story. One doesn't know how far and which side is correct, but definitely there is a lapse. First side is that this meadow was closed. दो tourist guides ने या दो tourist operators ने, to gain the sort of goodwill of their groups, उनको यहाँ ले गए. And they did not inform security forces. The fact is, अगर वो गए हैं, it should automatically have come to the knowledge. That definitely is a lapse. Secondly, first day, or possibly in some time frame, there would have been a reconnaissance done of this area. It is not an incident जहां पे आप थे, you were seen and they immediately fired. It was a chance opportunity. नहीं था. 2:45 in the afternoon implies आपको time मिला to come down from your hideout. आपको time मिला to conduct the operation. आपको time मिला to go back before the security forces arrived and before last night you were back. The other factor, why does a terrorist use a body cam? Body cam आप तभी इस्तेमाल करते हो when you have to relay the operation to your control headquarters. जब हमारे troops गए थे on the trans-border strike after the Uri attack, everybody had a body cam because both the command headquarters and Delhi was monitoring the operation. जब वो म्यांमार गए, everybody had a body cam because everybody was monitoring the operation. Second reason for the body cam is for post-strike damage assessment. क्या हुआ at the end of it? It is not a camera. It is to convey. So automatically this implies it was an operation launched from across. Let's be very clear. LET is an offshoot of the Pak Army. The TRF is another name for the LET, which is an offshoot of the Pak Army. So it is the Pakistan Army directly. The other factor, ये नहीं है कि ये लोग कल आए और आज चले गए. They've been here for some time. They know the area. They've got local guides. वो नाम आ गए, उनके घर demolish हो गए. So in every society, there is a ministry which will sell their souls या पैसे के लिए या belief ले लो या whatever you want to call it. Ideology ले लो. It is a very small minuscule society. But there is a fact that these things happen. And it has happened. Now the point is we have to act against it. Agla sawal, Rakesh, I want to ask you now. Who is the one who gains when India-Pakistan tensions go up?
Obviously, sir, it is the other neighbor of ours who actually gains the maximum because we are slowly reaching there.
Now, if you look at what I was discussing the other day when we were sitting there, you have raised 72 division in Ladakh. Everybody knows it. It is there in the press. It says one brigade is operational, the division is landing.
Correct.
You have reoriented your forces to the northern sector. Everybody knows it. Now you have changed the ratio that existed in the north. एक बात हो गई, side में रख लो. In the last 2 days, there are statements coming from companies like Apple and others that we want to leave China, we want to shift the entire manufacturing into India.
Yes.
पहले जब वो shift कर रहे थे, China was blocking its engineers of Apple from coming into India, as also blocking the movement of manufacturing equipment into India. Now, when one company starts, it'll become a flood. Yes. If India is itself not stable, it is facing a crisis with its neighbor, who gains? Now, isko zara, let's link this with Pahalgam. I'm sorry, I'm taking it as a monologue, but I'm getting you into it on this kahani. Do you think Munir would have had the guts to launch an operation like this without their clearance?
Yes.
You think he wouldn't have expected? He wouldn't have expected a strong Indian reaction?
Yes.
Anji?
And especially after few demonstrations that we have done in the past.
Correct.
So the escalation he would have known. And he would have taken those into considerations.
Now, the only blunder he made, which was a blunder which will backfire on Pakistan, which has already begun backfiring, was it happened when PM was in Jeddah. And PM was sitting in a discussion with the Crown.
NBS.
We have to remember, Saudi Arabia is the one that has been pulling Pakistan out of all trouble. I didn't want to use the wrong word, but it's been pulling Pakistan out of, and whenever it's been deep in dumps. Imagine PM Modi sitting there, cutting short his visit and coming. It's a slap on whose face? And Munir has been going there regularly for support. Is bar pehli bar, the statement that came mentioned cross-border terrorism. Up till now, it has only mentioned terrorism in all its forms. Pehli bar cross-border mention. Now, this was a blunder which he made in terms of timing. Maybe he couldn't have controlled it. Or maybe he wouldn't have expected the reaction that happened. But the fact that the visit was cut short, ye thappad Pakistan ke face pe, because now there is no way they can bank on support from them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Aap dekho, this time, every single West Asian country has stood by India.
Yes.
Secondly, main yehi kehta hu na, I mean, Munir should have realized, and now possibly the realization in Pak will set in. When the train hijack took place, they lost about 50, 60 people. How many countries rang up and sent apology and sent condolences to Pakistan? Is bar dekho, Trump, Putin, I mean, you name the entire West, yes. You name the entire West Asia, you name Europe, you name anywhere that side. As far as China is concerned, it was only the ambassador and the foreign office spokesperson.
Correct.
There was no message from the president or the PM. Right? And this is because there is a game. I mean, I don't think Munir has got the guts to do this.
And especially now, when he is in trouble from all sides, politically,
now you look at it,
militarily.
जब तक आप LOC active रखोगे, you keep your troops out on exercise or on threat of launching. You need not. You keep it.
Yes.
What is his option? Pull out troops from Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa to ensure that the Indian border is sanitized?
Yes.
आपका army का size तो वही है ना? Automatically the Baloch and the TTP get a free hand. आज हो गया. 4 को तो उन्होंने मार दिया क्वेटा में. Now they're going to go more hyper because they've got a free hand. अभी तो इंडिया ने सिर्फ फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट्स दिए हैं. What if we tomorrow decide to recognize Balochistan? अब तो now 1971 is out. अगर ताशकंद भी वो अगर वो ताशकंद भी वो disagree वो निकाल देंगे, then it means that the sentence in Tashkent is we will not interfere in one another's affairs. वो तो as it is they are interfering. But if you say we will not, if you remove that sentence, India has to say we just support Balochistan.
Yes.
We will open consulate in exile here. Bas. That's it. So, I mean, it is stupidity of Munir to do it without actually having realized what the repercussions will be. IWT का पानी तो अभी धीरे-धीरे करके कम तो हुआ है. In another 3-4 days, it will start getting impacted.
Yes.
You may not stop
we'll
all.
Just come to this in detail. If we just talk about it, sir. Sorry, sir. Sorry for interruption.
No. I just so this is where we are. This is where we are now.
Sir, publicly information that is available, especially through our electronic media, sir, there are certain things which somehow we are going in for, we're suggesting multiple options and multiple things. I think things went wrong where probably Pakistan scored over us was historically, sir. Sir, Kashmir तो कभी पाकिस्तान का किसी भी तरीके से पाकिस्तान लीगली है ही नहीं. But unfortunately, sir, पाकिस्तान उसी के ऊपर करता है और हमारे अपने देशवासी जो हैं, they believe in this particular thing that yes, there is something that Pakistan also has a stake. Primarily, sir, Kashmir जो अभी तक जो बना है, I don't think इनको अपने religion कोर रिलीजियनिस्ट के साथ कोई लेना देना है। Sir, I'll just flag this particular thing that how is it that Pakistan was able to create a situation for us wherein they say that they have stakes in Kashmir, जबकि सारी किताबों में बहुत क्लियर है कि जो ओरिजिनल बाउंड्री थी कश्मीर की, that was just next to their पंजाब, और पूरा पानी जो है वो कश्मीर से आता है, और रिलीजन के नाम पर उन्होंने ये एक लड़ाई शुरू की है। और आज जब उनका कोर रिलीजनिस्ट जो हिंदुस्तान में है और स्पेसिफिकली कश्मीर में है, उनके लिए एक बहुत बड़ी मुसीबत डाल दी। सर, वेरी क्विकली, व्हाई वाज पाकिस्तान क्रिएटेड एंड व्हाई, how did they deviate from the major reason for which they were created, and they have muddled into Kashmir, and why West had been supporting them in the past?
See, if you look at it, I think you got that on slide.
Yes, sir, I've got it on slide.
वो दिखाओ. Let's go through that.
तो सर, सबसे पहले तो इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस एक्ट के अंदर प्रिंसली स्टेट का जो डिवीजन होना था, उसमें रिलीजन मैटर ही नहीं करता था।
Absolutely.
मुस्लिम मेजॉरिटी और अदरवाइज वो ब्रिटिश इंडिया का जो पार्ट था, वहां पर ये प्लेबिसाइड होना था। प्लस मोर इंपॉर्टेंटली ज्योग्राफी जो थी, दैट वाज आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट।
करेक्ट।
तो महाराजा हरि सिंह ने लीगली एक्सीड किया 26 अक्टूबर 2047 को, जिसमें इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऑफ एक्सेशन है, जिसमें उस टाइम के गवर्नर जनरल के सिग्नेचर है। समवेयर अराउंड दिसंबर 47 जनवरी 48 में सर, वीपी मेनन जो कि सरदार पटेल के साथ थे, उनकी जो किताब है इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ इंडियन स्टेट्स, उसके अंदर वो बिल्कुल क्लियरली ही टेल्स दैट हैदराबाद में भी प्रॉब्लम थी, कश्मीर में भी प्रॉब्लम थी। उस टाइम पर जिन्ना को ऑफर किया गया था कि ओके, हैदराबाद हम रख लेते हैं, कश्मीर आप रख लो। जिन्ना ने मना कर दिया था, बिकॉज ही बिलीव कि कश्मीर को तो हम मिलिट्रीली किसी भी टाइम पर ले लेंगे, हैदराबाद हमारे पास लीगली आ जाए, इसलिए उसने ये मना कर दिया। और इसमें भी कोई शक नहीं है कि जिन्ना ने पाकिस्तान ब्रिटिश को के सपोर्ट से ही क्रिएट किया है। तो सर, यहां पर मेरा सिर्फ एक सवाल आपसे ये बनता है सर, कि पाकिस्तान इन सब चीजों को हाइड करके अपने सिटीजन्स को भी और इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी को भी और हमको, हमारे यहाँ पर भी ये हमारे को कभी पढ़ाया ही नहीं गया सर इसके बारे में।
Absolutely.
So I think we've always been on the back foot because we didn't know the facts and figures. तो कहने का मतलब यह है कि सर, आज क्या ये जरूरत है कश्मीर को बताने, कश्मीरियों को बताने के लिए कि उनका तुम्हारे साथ और तुम्हारे रिलीजन को, और वो ठेकेदार बने हुए हैं, इस्लाम का किला बने हुए हैं, कि उनका कोई लेना देना नहीं है इसके साथ, उनको सिर्फ टेरिटरी चाहिए और पॉलिटिकल पावर चाहिए, बिकॉज ऑफ वाटर एंड द डेप्थ दैट दे वांट टू प्रोवाइड टू देयर पंजाब।
देखो, the main thing for them has always been water. They don't want Kashmiris.
Correct.
They don't want Kashmiris. They have no love for Kashmiris. The way they are treating POK बहुत simple है। Kashmiris को कुछ नहीं है, उनको सिर्फ पानी चाहिए to ensure कि उनका पंजाब stays safe. Pakistan is one state, Punjab, और कुछ नहीं है। And their only intention is Punjab. The worst part, over the years, अगर देखो, when Pakistan comments on Kashmir, we never bring out this factor.
Correct.
That is something which we don't do, and nor is it taught in history books. I think we need to change our history books and bring the facts out today.
Right. Sir, we proceed ahead because I want to cover a lot of. Sir, please make your.
नहीं, go ahead. I'm waiting for that.
Okay, sir. अभी हमने पानी के ऊपर बात किया है. I'll tell you a very interesting thing through a slide that I have prepared, sir. Quickly I will flash that slide. Sir, do you think अब ये पानी की जो बात हो रही है, do you think आज this is an opportunity कि अब हमको कोई ना कोई तरीके से ये देखना चाहिए कि अब हम चाहे डैम बनाएं, पर जो भी करें, हम पाकिस्तान का पानी जो है वो अभी रोकें और जो लेजिटिमेट हमारा पानी था उसको हम कंटिन्यू करें सर। तो ये भी एक
नो ये है दैट यू सी सम अमाउंट, in fact the treaty was very biased.
Yes.
Nehru ने जो treaty sign करी, it was biased, and the fact is it was a 1960 treaty, and the Indian government has said a lot has changed, including population, ye wo, and we want a review of the treaty, which Pakistan is not willing to accept. But let's be very clear, the treaty needs a change. Today
correct
जो action लिया है, we will bulldoze the change.
Yes.
We will get what we want, we care a damn. उनका सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, उन्होंने अभी तक they've got no option of creating alternate water sources. They haven't even created anything coming in from Afghanistan. The water that's coming from there, they've not made canals to link. जो हमने किया है,
correct sir.
It is their funeral. Now they will be compelled to react, and the only way to get them to their knees is via this route.
Sir, quickly I will flash this slide, sir, which says कि ये जो Indus water or या Indus river system, why is it important? Quickly, these figures, sir. 152 million Pakistanis depend on Indian basin for drinking water, agriculture, and energy. Approximately 90% of food production relies on Indus-fed irrigations. 20 plus major hydro and irrigation projects are downstream of Indian-controlled headworks. Pakistan is in the top 10 water-stressed nation globally. Water stress index is more than 2 in many regions. That is extreme scarcity. And lower Indus basin already faces reduced flows, groundwater depletion, and ecological degradation. जब हमको ये मालूम है सर कि ये उसकी सिचुएशन हो सकती है, डू यू थिंक सर 4 वॉर, मुंबई, उड़ी, पुलवामा, इन सब के बाद भी इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी के बारे में सिर्फ एक हलचल हुई थी, लेकिन बात नहीं हुई. लेकिन आज अभी इस ओकेजन के ऊपर, दिस इज द बिगेस्ट अनाउंसमेंट दैट वी कुड हैव एवर डन, इज renegotiating the Indus water treaty.
Absolutely. In fact, this is something we should have threatened them with long back. Absolutely. Or if you remember last year, the government wrote to Pakistan saying we need to renegotiate.
Absolutely.
But today you've taken the step. Now they have no option but to come for renegotiation. Absolutely. You've done what you wanted.
Absolutely. And sir, not only this, see sir, हमारी अपनी कंट्री के अंदर भी there are states like पंजाब, हरियाणा, even दिल्ली, जो कि वाटर स्ट्रेस्ड है सर.
आप J&K ले लो, जम्मू, आप जम्मू को देख लो, जम्मू has got water problems, और उन्हीं का स्टेट का पानी वहां जा रहा है.
और मनवर तवी जो एक टाइम पर इतना फ्लो था सर, now it's very recently I was there, it is flowing like a small little streams.
हाँ.
So
you have to change the water system.
Sir, another facts and figures I want to present. There are about 140 MF which flows into Pakistan. Only 6 canals if we create, it will cut down the water by 25%. What is flowing only by making these 6 canals that are coming. More importantly, Jhelum River. As we say that Indus, Jhelum and Chenab, these are the 3 rivers according to Indus water treaty जो कि पाकिस्तान के हिस्से में आती है. तो मंगला डैम जो कि झेलम रिवर के ऊपर है, इतना बड़ा डैम, that gets affected. Sir, you and me have served there. Mangla Dam reservoir presents a huge military sort of impediment also for us. So that thing goes. If water is not there, the canal system along the western border which exists, उसका defense potential कम हो जाता है. तो economically agriculture पे फर्क पड़ता है और militarily उनका डिफेंस पोटेंशियल कम होता है. और यही अगर 25% हम पानी को रोक लेते हैं तो आर डेफिशिएंसी इन पंजाब, हरियाणा, राजस्थान, गुजरात, यूपी, दिल्ली इज डायरेक्टली एड्रेस्ड. सो अभी सर हमारे पास स्टोरेज, लेकिन इसके लिए एक चीज हमको करनी पड़ेगी, हमारे पास स्टोरेज इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली 1.2 to 3.6 इन नेक्स्ट फ्यू इयर्स, लेकिन हमको 10-year प्लान बनाना पड़ेगा जो कि 28 to 36 MAF इसमें से हम स्टोर कर सके, बिकॉज आज हम इमीडिएटली प्लानिंग को
now you can do it. पहले अगर आपने करना था, there would be a block. Today there can be no block because you abrogated the treaty or you put it in suspension, whichever English you want to use. और आपने वो कर लिया, now you can do what you want, now you can construct, उसके बाद देखी जाएगी, you can continue discussions for the next 2 decades.
And more importantly, you are not duty bound to share the data also. पानी
That
कितना
is
flow
it.
है कुछ नहीं, then use and then use water as a weapon for environmental warfare also.
That is
Now,
it.
why are we scared of upper riparian, in our case that is China and Namcha Barua dam that he's making, इसकी वो कभी भी खोल देगा तो एरिया पूरा inundate हो जाएगा, हमारे को प्रॉब्लम होगा. Though in that case the catchment area is in our side, पाकिस्तान के पास तो कुछ भी नहीं बचेगा,
कुछ नहीं बचेगा. Absolutely.
So this is one option which government has already exercised, in addition to withdrawal of defense attaches, cancellation of visa, all these things. लेकिन सर हमारे पास थोड़ा सा अगर हम हट के बात करें तो हमारे पास काइनेटिक ऑप्शंस क्या क्या हैं to sort out this problem? Do we need to think about it seriously? क्या हमको लगता है कि
let's look at it in very broad. हर लेवल के ऊपर there would be options. हर लेवल. Question is, will the government apply it? Does it feel that it has shaken Pakistan with this? Does it want to add on to kinetic? If it wants to, at what level? I think those are options. We must just leave it in the broad context. But definitely there would be options at each and every level of escalation. And each option would have its own options and repercussions which need to be handled. There is no way that they are not being assessed. The point is, do you want to get into it now? Do you want to keep the pressure on by the way things are? You're only activating the LOC is enough to enhance pressure. आज एक वीडियो निकला of the Pakistan army coming and camping in the villages of POK and using the civilians as shields. They're doing it. In our case, we are pulling back the civilians to ensure security.
Yeah.
Right. So there is a difference between the two sides. But the fact is that there are all options. Are you keen to exercise? Do you not want to exercise? Do you want to put the pressure this way because you're looking at it in the long term? If you go in for offensive, it's got a repercussion. There will be someone who will want to mediate. The IWT may come back. You keep the pressure going. You got to realize one more thing, Rakesh. For any forge to fight, you need oil. Pakistan doesn't have oil for more than 3-4 days. You need strategic reserves. India's got them for a month. 14 days with the forces itself, 14 days with the industry, all managed, maintained, everything kept within India.
Correct.
For them, that is a big drawback. Or kahan se aana hai? West Asia. And it has to come on loan. After the current incident, when it hit Saudi hard, how much is going to come? How much can you maintain? You just have to keep the pressure on. What is this future? So, the government has to play the game correct. You don't have to always use kinetic. The IWT is a weapon which you've thrown at them. Aap socho, within hours of you hitting the IWT button, uska National Security Council meeting, aapko din raat, the only thing you're hearing about is IWT. You have pressed that button so hard. The threat, anyone stops a drop of water, it is an act of war and we will invade. अरे भाई साहब, पानी तो 2-3 डैम से तो बंद कर ही दिया है ना, तो क्या किया अभी तक? Right? You have put him under pressure. Do you really need to add more? The government's got to take a call. Will we gain by adding more? The government's got to take a call. If you keep it like this, अब सोचो क्या कितना उड़ा रहा है और क्या कर रहा है. हम तो comfortable हैं. So, that is something which the government is happily watching. And I wouldn't be surprised if there are already requests coming in by back channel. They would already be.
Yes, back channel में आपने बड़ा interesting नहीं, आपने बड़ा interesting ये किया सर. Does this all this strict measures that we are taken, no contact, अटारी बॉर्डर बंद हो गया, वीजा कैंसिल हो गए, embassies के strength is down to 30, all these measures have been taken. और इस सिचुएशन के अंदर क्या अभी ट्रैक 2 या बैक चैनल नेगोशिएशंस का भी अभी स्कोप है या इतना गुस्सा है?
नहीं, ऐसे नहीं आएगा. बैक चैनल ऐसे नहीं आएगा. They will go to some odd country which is common to both. Possibly somewhere in West Asia, possibly somewhere उधर से request आएगा. And if you look at it, for India, everything is normal. Visitors are coming, visitors are going, everything is moving normal. Panic button वहां दबा हुआ है. There's not a word from Munir. I believe today in some meeting there of the parliamentary committee on defense, there was a comment that there was a minute silence for the loss of Munir's mother and sister-in-law or something. But the fact is that he's suddenly in pin drop silence. Now the pressure will be applied because the moment you're pulling out troops from Balochistan, your life is becoming hell there. You're losing ground there and in Khyber. India just have to sit and keep applying pressure. You don't have to cross. आपने IWT रोक दिया, अब क्या करोगे? It's something like, if you remember 71, if you remember what Manik Shah said, we had planned to invade Pakistan, Bangladesh on the 6th, the 4th or the 5th, somewhere around that period. But the pressure that was in Pakistan, they invaded us a day before or 2 days before. So it was they who declared war.
And gave us the thing of defense.
Yes. You kept them under pressure. Now the point is, he's got to take the bait. He's got to come to you. You don't have to do anything.
But sir, problem is, sir, our own citizens are not satisfied with these sort of things. We are looking at something like people are demanding we do something like Israel's.
But you have to realize
we understand Hamas and Pakistan.
Secondly, you also have to realize something I was talking today on another channel. I said Israel took 3 weeks to react to Hamas. 3 weeks. And Hamas is nothing. It took 3 weeks because that is the time you take to prepare, you get ready, you look at every single choice that you have, you look at what are the repercussions for each choice, you look at what the impacts will be, you look at everything before you act. You don't do it immediately. And within that phase of time, you will get reactions. And that is exactly what is happening. So you are applying the pressure, you're putting the pressure. Let the pressure remain.
Correct. But sir, we had strategic strike, we had Air Force Balakot. Is it now time to do something in the seas also? And if it still doesn't agree,
let's not discuss military options. Let's keep it off the table.
Okay.
Podcast. It has a different connotation. But we must know that there are options for everything available.
Options available.
You can
again, sir, I am taking
a sea blockade. You can do anything and everything. Right?
Sir,
you've got
I'm not advocating I think the possibility is there. Seeing in Red
There are,
Sea what Houthis are doing, sir.
देखो,
So they
everything
are
is
not
an
professional,
option.
but they have blocked.
Let's no, let's look at it this way and let's keep it here that all options are existing. Definitely, these guys will be looking at it. The government at the right time and the right one will take a call, and only then will that happen.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Okay.
I think we have
So, shall we take on a
sufficient
few?
questions. Shall we go for questions, sir?
Yeah,
Yes, sir. We
let's
will do
go.
that, sir. Yes. Kalarpi, sir, was the incident in Pahalgam often referred to as mini Switzerland, an act of religiously motivated violence targeting tourists in an unprotected area?
देखो, Pahalgam followed Mushirabad, right? What was the aim in Mushirabad? Targeting so that there is a reaction elsewhere in the country, and the social fault lines of the country based on religion are broken. This is the same intent here. You are aiming to exploit the fault lines of the country in terms of religious grounds. And it's a damn good thing that the government and everyone is working to keep that in check. Pakistan has been trying it from a very long time. You want to take the CAA riots? You want to take the ones which happened, at the time of abrogation of Article 370, he tried the same stunt.
370.
अब हर जगह देख लो, Pakistan has tried to get the riots to come to a level where you go into a religious riot. His aim is to exploit and break the fabric and thereby expose India as a nation which is not secular. And every time we've been able to play. He's even tried to use the Khalistanis, including the Sikhs for Justice. He's a basic sponsor of those guys to get them to create some ruckus. And every time we put a stop to it. Pahalgam was another attempt that you targeted religion knowing that there could be a reaction within India, in the mainland. We've been able to curb it. I was very scared over the last 2-3 days, especially when the cremations were began. Because that is the time sentiments run real riot amongst the audience, amongst those who are there. Mushirabad was another attempt just before this. Again, it was targeting. So whenever you've looked at it, the intent has been to break our social fabric. And this is no different. Let's be very clear.
Actually, breaking the social fabric also gives boost to their two-nation theories.
Correct.
Further, they try to convince their own people that, see, Jinnah was right and two-nation theory was right. So that's the primarily a sort of aim of doing this. So we move ahead, sir. Shubham Kothari has said that we emerge as fools in this game. Pakistan has figured out that all year round it can keep killing 2-3 folks weekly and nothing will happen. When they want, they increase threshold to bait their reactions.
I think, the incidents of 2-3, we've got to realize that where there is terrorism, it doesn't die in a day, it doesn't die in a month, it doesn't die in a year. Whether you're looking at Naxals, which doesn't come much in the paper, you look at the Northeast. These are things where there always are incidents. You prevent hundreds, an odd incident goes through. Now, these are things that happen. But this is a known fact. You can't stop it. You cannot launch everything. You cannot bring an end to it. Today, while we officially admit that we have nothing to do anywhere else in any other country, but definitely everyone knows that everyone interferes everywhere else, and let's leave it at that.
Right. Well, A.K. Singh has said that changing history books possible, acceptable in our body politics.
I think the current government has done a lot of change in history books, because the only thing we studied were Mughals, but I think a lot of change has now come in, and I think we should change further and bring in reality. the truth.
And,
I think it's about time we gave up
in
history of
today's
Mughals
social,
and
and in today's time when social media is, see, even there are certain channels who are actually giving very authentic history. Mainstream movies are being made on historical facts. Only thing, probably they have to be very careful about not mixing too much of fiction under the garb of taking the advantage of that artistic the thing. But I think, sir, we are moving in the right direction. At least people are talking about alternate things that have happened. I hope you agree with my
yeah.
Sir, very interesting question, sir. Sir, do you believe Asim Munir could have personally ordered this hit? Reports have also emerged that they plan to target PM's visit to Vaishno Devi until it was cancelled. Why int failure?
See, I mean, if you remember, I discussed this with you. Who is the nation? Which is the nation which would have gained from an Indo-Pak crisis?
Correct.
It
Absolutely.
is not. I repeat again, it's not possible. Asim Munir would have ordered it without clearance from his godfather, which is China. Because I mean, there is no way they could have faced the reactions that they are facing now. There are reports, in fact, reports flow every week of every possible event. I know when we were serving there and I was doing Jivan Ops, I would get an input saying that 15 or 26th of January, you can expect anything. Those days, including a microlight glider attack, उस समय microlight glider तो पता भी नहीं था कि है या नहीं है, एक दो होते थे. But you can expect this, you can expect that. I mean, int reports keep flowing. And I mean, if they're looking at targeting, it's not easy to target a PM's visit because the sort of security that goes into it and the reactions will be very, very severe. So nobody would do that. But definitely, there was a rumor that when he was to go in to inaugurate the Chenab Bridge, there was a rumor of a possible terrorist strike. But the reason given, and that reason stood ground, was that the weather was bad and it was not possible to fly. So one doesn't really know. But these were rumors that came in, so one is not very certain what to expect. But definitely that level of threat remains. He's addressed rallies in J&K, he's addressed rallies in Srinagar. Amit Shah was in Srinagar now. So these things are there.
Right. Next question, I think, is targeted to me, sir. Ask Bhole Bhatia, how does one MI officer feel when everything from Kargil to Bangladesh coup to this is ambiguously yet anonymously blamed on int failure? You int chap surely have a hopeless task. Sir, I partially agree with him. Yes, it is a hopeless job. But yes, you have also alluded to it in the beginning, sir. There are a lot of attacks, there are a lot of events which are prevented because of the timely intelligence that is gained about it. For security reasons, we cannot publicize it openly that so and so event was to happen. But unfortunately, whether it was Hamas attacking Israel and Mossad being the best, CIA, which is the best or most funded organization in the world, or British MI5, MI6, everybody at some stage or the other has they've been failures.
A simple example, everybody failed when we did our nuclear blast.
Whether it was 9/11, 7/11.
No, if you look at it, when we did our nuclear blast, despite satellite monitoring, nobody knew. So it's a new thing. And no matter how much you do, after all, your intelligence is based on inputs flowing from somewhere. Your assessment. There are times when there are gaps in inputs because people don't want it to go beyond only those involved. So it doesn't get out.
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. Right, sir. There is a question. I think, sir, we'll have to quickly finish. We got one from General Parmar also. I'll just take it on. Ask, sir, honestly, did anyone knew that Munir was Hafse Quran? Expect anything else? The speech was an expression of what's written in source code. His act, a tried and tested populist method.
See, he was speaking to the
Uh,
overseas audience, overseas Pakistani audience. For them, it was trying to
right.
project the Pakistan army as the ultimate savior and it is fighting against the Indian. You've got to realize some fact. There was a lovely article in the Dawn about 5, 6 years back, and I remember reading it. I don't know if I had saved it also somewhere, which said if you open a class 5 Pakistani school book, you will find written there that Indians are our enemies and we need to be ready to fight them, we need to be ready to kill them. So, from childhood, a child is being taught this. He is being given a perception that Hindus are anti Muslims, that India is anti Pakistan, that India's only desire is to break Pakistan into pieces. I mean, the whole story that is taught to the child and his brainwashed from the time he's a small child is that India is your perpetual enemy and it is looking to make mincemeat out of you. Now, if that is taught to the child and he only highlights it in a speech, it brings back that feeling within you. And that is what he was doing. And if you saw the video, it was more of antics, hands going left, hands going right, wearing his cap, and he was, I mean, shouting, screaming. It was more like a theater action which was going on rather than a serious speech which he should have been giving. So it was just an intention of trying to project the Pakistan army. And you got to realize that this was coming after a series of setbacks in Balochistan. I mean, you not only had the train attack, your posts were attacked, you were losing people in the tens every day, and you had no way to hide. And you were compelled to hide your casualties, you were compelled to bury them there. So you were in a different world.
Absolutely. And it's not restricted to Balochistan, sir. You have problems coming up
Same
in
in Khyber
Pradesh,
Pakhtunkhwa, you're having it in
Sindh,
Sindh. Today they're spreading all over.
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Imran Khan is keeping them busy in Punjab.
Oh, yes. They're in big trouble all across. And the only way they can unite their people is when they scream about. Leave this.
Yes. Yes. That is. Okay. This is for me. Your anchor don't want to understand the interviewer's opinion unless anchor. No. I want to clarify this because I have been receiving these sort of things. Because in our case, it is not a typical anchor and an interviewer.
No,
in our case,
it's two
if you
people
see
debating.
The name of the program is Defense Dialogue. It's two people debating. We both come prepared for a subject. We don't discuss it in advance.
And we're just discussing it here like two friends because we both know the same. You had one question from General Parmar.
Yes, sir. I'm just reading it out. Valley survival depends entirely on tourism, and the tourism becomes the first casualty with terrorism. People are watching this happening right now in the valley, and their anger and frustration is high and visible. Without condoning and these acts, even for a moment, don't you think this is the time to make them understand that terrorism and tourism cannot go together in Kashmir? They will have to choose one. My point, public question for you this evening. Sir, you take on, sir, please. I will then add.
See, you have to realize that for the first time in history, entire J&K went on a month against the attack in Pahalgam. It's never happened before. They've realized where they've reached. And they've realized the loss. But we've got to accept the fact, in every society, in every religion, there is a minuscule which is off target. Maybe terrorists, maybe supporters. Like I said before, it could be ideology, it could be money, people can be bought, maybe brainwashed, whatever you want to call it. There's a minuscule. This minuscule at times, like it's always said, a tactical mistake can lead to a strategic blunder.
Yes.
And this is actually a strategic blunder. The problem that's come is it's done by a few. It's impacted a whole region. Majority of the Kashmiris may not be with them. And there have been comments coming in terms of, like, people have said during the Amarnath Yatra and everything. I mean, people stood by. There have been buses that have been stranded, broken down, wherever people have come out. Everybody is not on that grade. There's a world of a change over the years. People who've gone there maybe 5 years back or 10 years back and who are going there now are finding that change coming. You're finding it in Lal Chowk, you're finding it all over. Now, the problem is an incident like this sets everything back. What you've achieved thus far has suddenly been pushed back. To rebuild it up to this level is something which is going to take time. And it's going to take a lot of effort. That is what is important. We have to rebuild the trust. The nation has to realize everybody is not a terrorist. You've got a minuscule number. You look at the numbers that are joining terrorism today. The cops release the number every month. It is in single digits.
Correct.
Look at it when it was in 3 digits. Right? Today, when you look at the number of terrorists in the valley, majority are FTs, foreign terrorists.
Yes.
There are minimum which are local. Look at the time of Buranwani and look at the time now. Everything has changed.
Yeah.
We've got to realize that to bring about that change has taken so long. And definitely there are always idiots who will want to be on the other side. You don't sign Pak flag. You find more Pakistan flags possibly flying in West Bengal or in those districts there than you would find in J&K.
Kashmir.
The reason is there is a world of a change that's come about. But then there are always the minuscule, and you can't remove the minuscule as hard as you.
Sir, that is why, keeping this particular thing only in mind, कि उनकी रोजी रोटी के ऊपर ये अटैक हुआ है. This is okay, fine. They've attacked Hindus, religious angle was also there. But primarily, Pakistan or so-called Islamic Jihad has targeted their Muslim brethren.
The worst part is
economy was doing better.
The best part is, I would say the best part, not the worst part, is that little bit of support that Pak had there has also now gone. In fact, when you found, the evidence, just look at the scenario. I'll give you 2 incidents. A few years back, when India used to lose to Pakistan, there used to be celebrations in Kashmir. Today, it's the other way around.
Correct.
Right? The change has come about. It's come about slowly and steadily. People have worked to get the change. Even now, when you had that first Bandh in Pak in entire J&K for a day, which has never happened, it shows that there is a change, and it was a voluntary action. And this voluntary action shows that there is a feeling within of a different level, and we have to respect that. Yes, there are idiots, there are people on the wrong track in every society, in every group. You can't help it. It's human nature. But let's look at the masses.
Let's look at the masses. That's the center.
A case ka tha, why is there no ban? Achha, there's a mention of no ban for Pulwama.
And that's why this, again, I will repeat it.
No. On this reason, in fact, there was a minute silence in the IPL. No, banned. I think what he's talking about is during the matches that are going on now in terms of the IPL. No, in fact, I think it was day before yesterday. There was a minute silence. Both the teams came on. The entire stadium stood up for a minute silence on Pulwama. The teams day before yesterday and yesterday wore black bands. So it is there.
I think, sir, we've done for the day. We've covered most of the aspects. I purposely didn't want to go into the details which are already there in the uh, electronic media and it's there in the print media, sir. We've tried to give it a separate treatment the way we have handled it. The primarily we feel abhi jitna hua is in the right direction, and in future also most probably the government will be guided and Pakistan will be punished for the misadventure that it has been carrying out. Yes, एक दुख जरूर है कि जितना 370 के बाद का जो गेन्स हुआ था इस एक्ट के बाद थोड़ा सा सेटबैक हमको लगा है, which eventually I think we'll be able to overcome. Sir, with this, I would like to thank you for being our guest and sharing your wisdom and experience.
I wouldn't say guest, I'd say we had a good dialogue. We had an excellent dialogue.
Yeah, you're part of we had a good dialogue. Okay, yes. Thank you, sir. Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.